Welcome back to the program. We're now joined by the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. Jenny Lou Lawless is one of their volunteers. She's a walk chair for an event, or a couple of events actually, coming up later on this fall, and we're going to talk about those. But we're going to start off talking about the organization in general. So, Jenny, thank you so much for coming on the program today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So first of all, I mean, I think your name says it all. The name of the organization says it all, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. But tell us a little bit about you guys and what you guys offer to the community.
Well, our mission is to bring hope to anyone who has been affected by suicide and to save lives. That's our mission in a nutshell. We've been around since, I believe, 1984. We have chapters in all 50 states and now Puerto Rico and multiple cities across the United States.
So how big of an issue is this, suicide in not only in the country, but here in our area specifically?
It's a huge issue. It's a huge issue. It's 10th in the state of Florida and 9th nationally. So for cause of death. And that's just for people in general. When you get to talk about the younger people, like in the age group of 18 to say 30, it's the second leading cause of death.
Is there any reason why? I mean, do people know why that age group is more prone to it, or is that
we're doing a lot more research and trying to find out. I mean, definitely social media plays a role in that. But also there's a humongous stigma to talk about your mental health. We like to treat mental health just the same as we do our physical health. If you had high blood pressure, diabetes, gallstones, you would go to the doctor and you would seek treatment for that. But for whatever reason, people are ashamed and embarrassed to talk about their mental health. And that's why we advocate for people to share and to talk about their mental health just as if they would high blood pressure.
If somebody needs to reach out to you guys, needs that help, or just wants to get involved with your program as a volunteer or a sponsor, how can they go about doing that? How can people get involved with y'all?
You can Google AFSP. Our actual website is afsp.org. And then from there, it breaks down to every single state and every single chapter. We're the Panhandle chapter, but there's 6 chapters just within the state of Florida. And we have tons of resources on there to break it down depending on what your specific need is.
Okay. So definitely encourage people to go there for whatever reason. If they need more information for themselves or want to get involved, definitely encourage them to do that. So of course, a lot of what you guys do is outreach and fundraising and things like that, so you can help all these people who might need some assistance. So you have 2 great events coming up here pretty soon in along the Emerald Coast. So let's start with the Pensacola event, and then we'll shift down a little bit east to the Emerald Coast event. So tell us a little bit about the Pensacola event and when that's taking place.
The Pensacola event this year is going to be on Saturday, November the 5th. Pensacola event was an event that we did have prior, but then with COVID and just logistics, that we haven't had it for several years, and we've had just a cry from the community to bring it back. And so this year we brought it back. Our original goal was to have 50 people and to raise $10,000. Right now we are at 115 people and $22,000.
Wow. That's awesome.
We are blown away. And it's still 6 weeks away. I mean, we are just so grateful. We've had just an outpouring from the community. People are so grateful that we're going to be there. Really excited. And it's going to be at Maritime Park, which is a beautiful setting. It's a very healing, very peaceful setting. And so we are really excited to be back in Pensacola.
Yeah, that is fantastic. That's great. Like I said, it's still a few weeks out, so it's nice to have that kind of response already. Do people need to sign up if they want to participate, or how?
You can do the day of registration. Okay. We prefer that you sign up ahead of time, just so we can make sure we have enough, water and beads and all that kind of stuff for you. But you can sign up the day of.
Okay. Well, let's roll a little bit down Highway 98 to the Emerald Coast event and tell us about that one and when that one's going to take place.
The Emerald Coast event is going to be held at Beasley Park, and it's going to be on Saturday, November the 12th. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Beasley Park, but it is also gorgeous. We will start there at the pavilion, and then we walk west towards Okaloosa Island. We have a beautiful rose petal ceremony where we place rose petals in the water for anyone that we've lost to suicide. Last year it was our largest turnout thus far for the Emerald Coast. We had 300 people in attendance, and we're hoping this year to have about 500 people.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're super excited about that as well. We had a couple rough years with COVID, but we've come back in full force, and people are really, glad that we're here. And
yeah. Well, that is great. You definitely that is great news to hear. All the support that you guys are getting for both of these events, and thank you for everything that you guys do in the community and to help these people when they're at maybe their lowest point, and helping them get that help. So, good luck with your events. I really appreciate it. We are out of time, but I appreciate you coming on the show. Stay with us. When we come back, we're going to be joined by the Great Gulf Coast Arts Festival.